When the fall semester was about to begin, Clara only purchased train tickets for herself and the new freshman, Leo. I didn't cause a problem or raise my voice. I just looked at her and calmly told her we were breaking up. "Just because of a train ticket?" she asked, her voice already tinged with annoyance. "I already told you I'd come back and get you." "Don't bother," I said. Clara sighed, a sound of pure frustration. "Fine. So, Your Highness, how many days is this breakup supposed to last?" We had known each other for 10 years and had been a couple for the last 2. Almost every major decision I'd made had revolved around Clara. She was absolutely convinced that I was incapable of living my life without her. But this time, I was truly finished. I canceled my own ticket, finalized my application for the study abroad program I'd put on hold for her, and made my plans to leave. It's better to just sever ties with a relationship that's clearly become unhealthy. I was standing at Clara's front door. I had been told that she and Leo had already left for the station hours ago. "Didn't you two agree to leave at 6 this evening?" Clara's mom, Mrs. Evans, asked from the doorway. "It's already past 11 in the morning. They should have arrived by now. Mark, did you oversleep? That Clara, honestly. You'd think she would have at least called to wake you." Mrs. Evans's words left me completely stunned. I frantically pulled my phone from my pocket and opened the booking screenshot Clara had sent me last night. "Mrs. Evans, you've got to be kidding me. Look, this is the screenshot Clara sent me. It clearly says the tickets are for 3 in the afternoon. "That's impossible," she said, frowning. "I'm sure the driver took them to the station first thing this morning. Mark, don't panic. I'll give her a call right now and find out what's going on." Just as her mom was about to make the call, my phone rang. It was Clara. "Mark, are you at the station yet?" On the video call, I could see tiny beads of sweat on Clara's forehead. She was holding luggage in both of her hands. A designer shoulder bag was slung across her body. It was obviously Leo's. Leo, meanwhile, was standing leisurely to the side, holding her phone with one hand and an ice cream cone in the other. He brought the cone, which he'd already been eating, to Clara's lips. "Clara, this ice cream is so good. You have to try a bite." Clara didn't refuse, taking a bite from the exact spot his mouth had been. Watching them, I felt a surge of cold anger. "Clara, what is this? Why did you lie to me and send me off on my own?" Before I could finish, Leo turned the camera back to himself. His tone was rushed and apologetic. "Mark, don't blame Clara. If you're going to blame anyone, blame me. When we were booking tickets last night, there were only 2 seats left on this train. I originally told Clara to go to campus with you first, but she was worried about me being a new student. She thought I wouldn't be able to manage on my own since I don't know the area, and there's so much to do when you're a freshman. She was afraid I'd mess it up, so she decided to bring me to campus first. You're not going to get mad at her for this, are you?" I found Leo's words laughable. From the moment he decided to apply to UCA, I had done everything I could to help him. But to hear him tell it, I was some kind of heartless villain. Besides, didn't I have a right to be upset? If there were no more tickets, couldn't she have just talked to me about it? She had to lie and leave me behind. I'm supposed to be her boyfriend. And it's not like I begged her to book my ticket. She was the one who insisted on buying it for me. But before I could say anything, Clara took the phone back. The camera focused on her beautiful, bold face. The smear of light pink ice cream at the corner of her mouth was incredibly jarring. Clara smiled at me, her voice soft and coaxing. "Hey, it's okay. I'm just getting Leo registered. You remember how crazy it was for us last year, right? We were both running around like crazy. Imagine Leo all by himself." As she spoke, a hand with well-defined knuckles entered the frame and gently wiped the ice cream from her lips. Clara shot a fond smile at the person off camera before turning back to me. "Besides, I did get you a ticket, didn't I? I even got you an afternoon one so you could sleep in. By the time you get to the station, I'll be pretty much done here. Then Leo and I will come pick you up together, okay? Come on, my little prince, don't be mad. I'll take you out for a huge dinner tonight." Her mom, standing next to me, chimed in to defend her. "Mark, you know Leo's situation is complicated. His ex-girlfriend Sarah just ran off and left him with the baby. He's all alone with a kid now. Clara has a soft spot and always wants to help him out. Please try to be more understanding, okay? I'll have a word with her later. I'll tell her she has to talk to you before making any decisions next time." With everyone saying this much, there wasn't much left for me to say. Leo really did need Clara's help. Clara felt she owed Leo a debt she could never repay. But I still felt uneasy. I turned down her mom's offer to have the driver take me and dragged my suitcase home by myself. 3 in the afternoon was still a ways off. I could at least have lunch at home before leaving. My mom was surprised to see me back. "Mark, I thought you were going to school with Clara." I told my mom everything about the ticket situation. The smile on her face slowly vanished. She came over, pulled me down to sit on the sofa, her expression serious and grave. "Mark, there's something I need to say. I know it's going to be hard for you to hear, but I feel like if I don't tell you, no one else will." I turned to look at her, instinctively knowing what she was about to say was related to Clara. After all, ever since Clara's family started supporting Leo, my mom had been skeptical about our relationship. My first instinct was to refuse to listen. But then I thought about all the fights Clara and I had over Leo this past year. I nodded. "Go ahead, Mom." My mom sighed and stroked my face tenderly. "Mark, you must see it, right? Leo is in love with Clara. I know Clara feels indebted to him, and their relationship will always be tangled. As long as Leo has that child, he can use that guilt as the perfect weapon to control her. No matter how strong your and Clara's relationship is, it's bound to create a rift. In love, no one can balance 2 people perfectly, and no one is generous enough to tolerate another man in the picture. So, Mark, I hope you'll think about this seriously. What happened today, this is just the first time. There will be a second time, and countless more after that." My mom's words were brutal, but they were the truth. But Clara and I had known each other for 10 years. Even though we'd only been together for 2, I'd loved her for much, much longer than that. From the day I first understood what love was, Clara was the seed planted deep in my heart. To make that seed blossom, I gave up better opportunities and went to UCA with her. For her, I put up with Leo for a year, tutored him, and bought him presents. Clara said she saw Leo as a little brother, so I put aside my own feelings and treated him like a brother too. Maybe it was because she was my first love, or maybe it was just sheer stubbornness I couldn't completely let go. My eyes were red as I was about to say something, but I was interrupted by my phone vibrating. It was a voice message from Leo. "Clara, you're so smart, buying Mark a separate ticket and lying that our train was sold out. But aren't you afraid he'll freak out if he finds out?" The moment Leo's voice faded, I felt like I'd been slapped across the face. Then came Clara's weary voice. "What choice do I have? It's all for you, you little dummy. Besides, if Mark came with us, I'd have to carry luggage for 3 people. I'd be dead tired. You're fine. You at least know how to feel bad for your big sis. Mark's been spoiled rotten by his family. All he knows how to do is throw his little prince tantrums at me. If I end up taking care of you but not him, he'll definitely lose it. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. And if I didn't rush to buy his ticket, what if he bought one for the same train as us? That would be so awkward. You know Mark, he acts all generous on the surface, but behind my back he's constantly arguing with me about you. To be honest, even if you weren't in the picture this time, I still would have wanted to travel alone. Just to get a breather. Leo, honey, your sis is about to lose her mind." When Clara mentioned me, her voice was full of exhaustion and contempt. But then she let out a small laugh. But Mark does have one good thing going for him. He's truly devoted to me. For my sake, he gave up going to Caltech, and then he gave up the chance to study abroad. So don't worry. Even if he finds out I did this on purpose, the most he'll do is throw a little fit. Who told him he can't live without me, right? Okay, I get it. You two are deeply in love. But my dearest Clara, can you please get your hand off me? You're pressing on my old injury and it really hurts. Where does it hurt? Let me kiss it and make it better. Ugh, stop messing around. I'm a grown man, you know. The sounds of them laughing and teasing each other kept coming through my headphones. Finally, there was the sharp smack of a hand hitting an arm. The moment the headphones went silent, my heart went silent with them. When I looked down, a tear fell onto the screen. I only then realized my eyes were red and welling up. So what I thought was deep mutual love was just a joke to someone else. My mom's warning and Clara's dismissive words played on a loop in my head. In the end, I chose to listen to my mom. I opened my chat with Clara and sent her the breakup message. Whether it was a coincidence or not, I don't know. Clara instantly replied with a question mark. I didn't answer. I just deleted her and blocked her number. But the next second, a call from Clara came through. The first thing she said wasn't to ask what happened. It was, "Mark, my little prince, what are you throwing a fit about now?" Clutching my phone, I couldn't help but find it funny. She used to say the same thing whenever we argued, but I always thought it was my fault. Because Clara often told me things like, "You know, with your temper, besides me, not many girls could put up with you. I'm the only one who spoils you like this. All right, can we stop fighting? Think about it. If we really broke up, you'd be the one crying in a corner." So I always felt like I was the one making a scene, that I was being too petty, too sensitive. But my mom told me that in a relationship, you're supposed to be possessive. Otherwise, why would a third person be called an intruder? I'm not making a scene. I'm serious. My voice was calm. "Clara, let's break up." Clara's tone didn't change. She even sounded amused. "It's not because of a train ticket, is it? Didn't I tell you? As soon as I'm done helping Leo register, I'll come to the station to pick you up. It's not like I'm ditching you. Is it really worth breaking up over? Mark, you have no idea how hot it is in Chicago today. I've been running around helping Leo for half the day, and my clothes are soaked. The least you could do is feel a little sorry for me, but instead you want to break up. My heart is turning ice cold. Let's not fight, okay? I'll take you for a seafood feast tonight." The old me was indeed easy to please. A good meal, a small gift, and I'd be happy for a long time. But now that my eyes were open, I suddenly realized I could provide those things for myself. Why did I need to depend on a woman for them? Although my heart still ached with reluctance, I didn't give in. "No, thanks. You can just take Leo." Clara burst out laughing. "You're such a jealous baby. Fine, if you say we're broken up, we're broken up. But I still have to ask, my little prince, how long is this breakup supposed to last? 2 days? Or 3? In the background, I could hear Leo's impatient voice. "Clara, I don't know how to fill out this form. Come help me." Clara responded instantly. "Coming." Then she said goodbye to me. "Mark, I have to go. I'm going to help Leo with his forms. I'll see you at the station tonight." The call ended. I canceled the train ticket. I sent the study abroad application, which had been ready for a while but I'd hesitated to send, to my professor. Then I went to the kitchen, where my mom was making me seafood porridge, and said, "Mom, that TOEFL prep course your friend mentioned, can I still sign up?" "Of course, honey. I'll get in touch with them for you." I dragged my suitcase back to my room. Sophomores started a week later than freshmen. I hadn't planned on going so early anyway. I only agreed because Clara was taking Leo to register. Not anymore. I could stay home for a few more days. I started unpacking my suitcase. As I took out the last item, my fingers paused. It was the birthday present I'd prepared for Clara. Her birthday was in a week. The gift was a ring I had crafted by hand. It was useless now, but it felt like a waste to throw it away. I took a picture and listed it on a second-hand site for a low price. Clara, from now on, let's just go our separate ways. That night I was woken up by Clara's call. Her tone was sharp. "Mark, where are you? Leo and I have been waiting for you at the station for almost 2 hours. There's a limit to how long you can throw a tantrum. You know Leo has to take care of his kid, and he's under a lot of mental and physical stress. He still came with me to pick you up. Shouldn't that be enough to make you drop it?" After unpacking that afternoon, I'd taken a nap. Being woken up like that already put me in a bad mood. Then getting an earful from Clara just set me off. "Did I ask you to come get me? If Leo's so stressed, he should see a therapist, not take it out on me. It's not my fault he's stressed. Can you stop trying to guilt-trip me with that? And another thing, we're broken up. Where I am is none of your business." Clara laughed, but it was a bitter sound. "Mark, fine. Keep it up. See where it gets you. Classes start in a week. I'd like to see you try to avoid me forever. I've really spoiled you rotten." On the other end of the line, Leo started in with his fake, innocent routine, trying to comfort Clara. "Clara, don't fight with Mark. It's all my fault." His voice trailed off, and then there was silence. I didn't have to guess. I knew Clara was frantically trying to console him right now. Okay, it's not your fault. I'm the one who spoiled him. Don't be sad. My birthday is in a week. I refuse to believe he'll be able to stay away and not celebrate with me." I couldn't listen anymore. I hung up the phone. If all went according to plan, I'd be gone in a week. The next morning, I got a call from my roommate, Sam, who had returned to campus early. "Mark, Clara just came to the dorm with some freshmen and took all your toiletries. And also," Sam hesitated. It sounded like the next part was going to be hard for me to hear. "And what? Just say it." "And that limited edition action figure she gave you for your birthday last year." Sam's voice was cautious. "Mark, who is that guy? Clara said he's like a little brother to you guys, but I get the feeling he's hostile toward you. When he was gathering your stuff, he accidentally knocked the photo of you and Clara off your desk and smashed the frame. He's totally a manipulative snake. Also, how come you didn't come back with Clara today? You guys always come back together for the start of school." The moment I heard the photo frame was broken, my heart instinctively tightened. But then I thought about it and realized it didn't really matter. The toiletries in the dorm were a matching set with Clara's. After a breakup, I would have thrown them out and gotten new ones anyway. Whether it was the toiletries, the action figure, or the photo, I would have tossed them all when I got back to campus. It was better that they took them. Saved me the trouble. I cut off my roommate's careful probing and said with a laugh, "It's fine. If they want to take them, let them. Clara and I already broke up. I was going to throw all that stuff out anyway." Before I could finish, I heard Clara's voice on Sam's end. "Is that Mark?" Before Sam could answer, Clara snatched the phone. Her voice on the phone sounded no different than usual, still playful and flippant, clearly not taking my talk of breaking up seriously. "Mark, there's just so much to do for freshman registration, and Leo's been too busy to go buy new toiletries, so he's just going to use yours for now. Oh, and that action figure on your bed? Let Leo borrow it for a few days. He's a bit timid and has trouble sleeping at night. Cuddling the figure will help him sleep better. See? I discussed it all with you this time, so don't go throwing a fit at me later." I found Clara's words laughable. This was a discussion? This was her informing me. The old me really would have made a scene, but now I just wanted to get off the phone as quickly as possible. Yeah, whatever. My dismissive attitude made Clara pause. 2 seconds later, I heard her scoff through the receiver. "Fine, the little prince is still in a mood." The phone was passed back to Sam. I chatted with him for a few more minutes, then hung up. After hanging up, I started getting ready to go meet the TOEFL tutor at the address my mom gave me. To be honest, I didn't need a TOEFL score for the exchange program. I was going to Singapore, where passing the National English exam was enough. But I was planning to continue my studies in Australia later. I'd need it for that. Even though it was still a long way off right now, I really needed something to keep myself busy. In the car, I came across Leo's post on his social feed. There was a picture of them waiting for me at the station last night. Leo was dozing off, his head resting lightly on Clara's shoulder, his arm wrapped tightly around her forearm. The station was cold, but with you by my side, my heart was warm. There was a photo of them at the seafood feast they had last night. Clara was holding up her phone, half of her face visible. On the other side was a spread of various seafood dishes and a beaming, innocent-looking Leo. Because I mentioned I'd never had seafood, someone almost ordered the entire menu. At this rate, I'm really going to be spoiled. There was also a vlog of them wandering the streets of Chicago over the past couple of days. In the video, Clara would patiently hold Leo's hand while crossing the street. She would tirelessly carry things for him. Even the medicated patches he needed for his old injury were something Clara had run to several pharmacies to find. I told her I'm not a kid anymore, but someone insists on treating me like one. I just can't win. And at the very end, there was a picture of a limited edition action figure thrown in a trash can. Let's leave the past in the past. In the future, we will both have new partners. So this was what Clara called no time. No time to buy toiletries, but time to run around buying medicated patches for Leo. So busy with freshman registration that they couldn't spare a moment, yet still able to wander through Chicago, strolling through the streets with him. Before, I just thought it was all out of a sense of obligation, just an obligation. But now, looking at it from the outside, I belatedly realized it. Clara had crossed a line a long time ago. Just like a mutual friend commented below, "Seriously, dude? What are you trying to accomplish by posting vague stuff like this? Clara and Mark are the actual couple. What are you trying to pull? Anyone who didn't know better would think you're her boyfriend. LMAO, you're almost 20 and still calling yourself a kid. You're acting like a toddler. New partners? You mean yourself?" A friend even tagged me. "Mark, I told you some people are wolves in sheep's clothing, and you didn't believe me. You think of him as a little brother, but he sees you as a rival. He used you and then stabbed you in the back. How can you put up with this?" Since I'd been called out, I figured I might as well use Leo's post to set the record straight. After all, it's best to make a clean break with a rotten relationship. I replied under my friend's comment. "Clara and I broke up. Congrats to them. Hope it lasts forever." After posting the comment, I unfriended Leo. Immediately, my phone started ringing with calls from high school classmates. Most of them were expressing regret about my relationship with Clara. They all said, "Clara and I were the couple from our high school class that everyone thought would make it. In our freshman year, my dad got sick and needed surgery. I took time off to go with my mom to the hospital to take care of him. Clara would run back and forth between the school and the hospital every day, just to help me catch up on the day's lessons. In our sophomore year, Clara's mom passed away unexpectedly. Overnight, Clara's world collapsed. During that time, to help her pull through, I stayed by her side at the funeral home day and night. If she didn't sleep, I didn't sleep. When she refused to eat or drink, going on a hunger strike, I joined her. Clara was afraid for my health, so even when she couldn't stomach it, she forced herself to eat. She would eat, throw up, and then eat again. We were there for each other during our toughest times. We both once believed we were the most important person in each other's lives. Even our homeroom teacher secretly shipped us. At our graduation party, Clara got on stage in front of the whole school and sang Confession Balloon for me. That day, Clara wore a white dress. She held a bouquet of pink paper roses that she had folded herself, 99 of them, each one meticulously crafted. After her confession was successful, she pulled me into a tight hug, holding the microphone like a victorious general. She boasted to everyone there, 4 years from today, Mark and I will be inviting all of you to our wedding. Everyone, including me. We all thought Clara and I would end up together. We would get married, have children. But no one could have predicted what happened that summer. Leo's ex-girlfriend, Sarah, dumped their newborn baby, Zach, on him and disappeared. That summer, Clara and I both got our acceptance letters from UCA. When school started, we would be moving to Chicago, hundreds of miles from home. My family was fine. My parents had each other. But Clara's mom was all alone. It was also that summer that Leo's then-girlfriend, Sarah, suddenly showed up, saying she was pregnant with his child. Because Clara had been the one to introduce them, she felt guilty and stepped in to mediate. But after giving birth to their son, Zach, Sarah took a sum of money from Clara and vanished completely, leaving behind a clueless Leo and a crying baby. Leo knelt before Clara, clutching the baby, and sobbed hysterically. "Clara, Sarah ran away. I can't raise this baby on my own. What am I going to do?" Those words broke Clara's heart. She helped Leo up from the floor, looked at the baby in his arms, and soothed him gently. "It's okay. Don't cry. From now on, I'll be here. I'll help you raise him. Whatever I have, Zach will have too." After that day, Leo became a different person. He went from a shy, introverted boy to someone fiercely possessive. He started treating Clara like she belonged to him. He would bristle whenever I got close. At first, Clara would try to reassure me. "Leo is raising a child alone now. He's going through a lot. He's not intentionally targeting you. The doctor said Leo's under too much stress and has psychological trauma. Just let him have his way more often. Do it for me, okay?" I said, "Okay." After such a huge upheaval, anyone would be struggling. I felt for Clara, too. She felt incredibly guilty. I could understand her desire to make it up to Leo. I helped her comfort Leo and was kind to him. But Leo always seemed to stir up trouble between Clara and me. I'd offer him a bubble tea, and he'd accidentally not take it, letting it fall and splash all over his pants. Then he would loudly accuse me of bullying him on purpose. In the beginning, Clara would listen to my side of the story. But as incidents like this piled up, she started to lose trust in me. She would look at me with impatient eyes, her tone cold. "Mark, can you just be a little more magnanimous? What happened to Leo is partly my fault. Why can't you try to see it from my perspective? Aren't you my boyfriend? Why do you have to make things harder for me? Isn't everything chaotic enough as it is?" That day, I lost my temper too. My eyes red, I yelled, "He has a kid to raise. That's his problem, not mine. Why do I have to keep putting up with it? If that's the case, what if Leo asks me to give you up to him? Am I supposed to put up with that too?" Slap. Clara slapped me across the face. "Mark, listen to yourself. You've disappointed me so much." That time, I told Clara we were breaking up. But later, on my birthday, Clara came to find me. It was snowing heavily that day. Clara stood downstairs from my dorm. She was wearing the black coat I loved most on her, holding the limited edition action figure I had spent ages trying to find. The tip of her nose was red from the cold, and a thick layer of white snow had settled on her shoulders. She didn't move an inch. I stood on my dorm balcony, watching her, and our eyes met, as she looked up. In that instant, my heart softened again. But now, that same action figure had been thrown in the trash by Leo, with Clara's silent permission. Along with our relationship, it was all tossed in the garbage. I really did love her. But just as my mom said, no one can tolerate a third person in a relationship. It's like the song says, it's better for one person to let go than for three people to be tangled up. But there was one thing I could never figure out. Clara had given Sarah a sum of money back then. Why would Sarah still abandon her child and leave? And how could Leo, who had nothing, so calmly accept Clara's financial support? After meeting with the TOEFL tutor, we set a schedule for weekly online classes. Since I was leaving for Singapore in a week to start at the university there, we decided online lessons were the best format. With that settled, I began preparing the documents required by the university. I was pretty lucky, as it turned out. The professor told me that the list of exchange students had already been submitted. All the spots were filled. But because one student had to withdraw due to a family emergency, I managed to snag the opening. It took me 3 days to get all the documents ready. It was about time to pack up and head back to campus. After all, my buddies had found out I was going to Singapore and had been clamoring to have a farewell dinner with me. This time, I didn't take the train. I chose to fly. Clara was afraid of flying, so whenever we traveled for school or went on vacation, we always took the train or high-speed rail. But I had always wanted to try flying. Now, looking out the window at the endless sea of clouds, I felt surprisingly happy. I began to look forward to my life abroad. At the airport, my 3 roommates were already waiting. The moment they saw me, they swarmed around me excitedly. "Look at you! A breakup really is the best personal trainer. It's only been 2 months. How did you get in even better shape? And you're even more handsome." Let me see, my next-door roommate chimed in, squeezing over. He insisted on patting me down. "Hey, not bad. Your muscles are more defined. You've slimmed down, but you're more toned." I grabbed his wandering hand. I knew they were just worried about me, concerned I'd be down after the breakup. But honestly, I had been so busy these past few days that I hadn't thought about Clara in a long time. Even when someone mentioned her name, I could face it calmly. "All right. Who said I lost weight? I've been eating great at home. I haven't lost a pound, in fact. I've gained a couple. Don't worry, I'm fine." I smiled at them. They all breathed a sigh of relief. "See? I told you our Mark knows when to hold 'em and when to fold 'em. It's just one girl. If she's gone, she's gone. All right then, it's a guy's night tonight. No talking about toxic, messed-up people." At the music restaurant, my roommates and I were sitting near the patio. The singer on stage was performing a Jay Cho song. A lot of people were quietly singing along. Suddenly, a group of people flooded in through the entrance. And then I saw Clara. Surprisingly, Leo wasn't by her side this time. Her friends were all laughing and chatting. Only Clara was frowning, staring down at her phone. It looked like she was waiting for someone's call. A friend next to her asked, "Is Mark still mad? He's not actually going to skip your birthday, is he? I'm not trying to criticize you, but you and that little brother of yours are way too close. Even actual siblings know to keep their distance, so their in-laws don't get the wrong idea. And you two aren't even related. Want me to use my phone to call Mark?" Her friend's words made Clara's expression go blank for a second. She turned to her friend and explained with a hint of helplessness, "But I really do just see Leo as a little brother. I didn't even let him come with me today, did I? How come you guys don't believe me either? I'm a grown woman. You think I can't tell the difference between a boyfriend and a brother?" Her friend sighed and couldn't help but roll her eyes. "You see him as a brother, but he might not see you as a sister. To put it bluntly, does a homewrecker ever admit to being one? Take a sister's advice. Go apologize now while you still can. Seeing the cake in her friend's hand, I suddenly remembered that today was Clara's birthday. Clara took her friend's phone and quickly dialed my number. My phone, sitting on the table, started to ring. The ringtone was the recording of Clara singing Confession Balloon all those years ago. I was so used to having my phone on vibrate at home that I'd forgotten to change it. I wanted to decline the call, but Clara heard the ringtone. She walked over quickly. The moment she saw me, Clara smiled. "Mark, I knew you'd come." As she spoke, she reached for the gift box on the table. "Is this my birthday present? Mark, I knew you couldn't bear to be apart from me." I reached out and stopped Clara. I smiled awkwardly. "This isn't for you. It's for me." Inside the gift box was a farewell present from my roommates. Clara froze for a moment. Then, as if she'd thought of something, she smiled again. Okay, my little prince is still mad. It's fine. You can give me my gift later. As long as you're here, that's all that matters." I cut Clara off with a cold voice. "Clara, we're broken up. Broken up. Do you understand? I don't have a habit of buying birthday presents for my ex-girlfriends, so please move aside and don't interrupt our dinner." The smile on Clara's face froze. She reached out to grab me. "Mark, it's been so long. Why are you still mad? What breakup? I never agreed to break up. Stop trying to trick me. This is my birthday present, isn't it? You're just trying to scare me, right?" Clara said, trying to snatch the box from my hand. "I've known for a while that you were secretly making a pair of rings. The rings have to be in here." No wonder she had been so certain when she told Leo I would show up on her birthday. She already knew I had made a pair of rings. But while I was making the rings, what was she doing? She was picking out a graduation present for Leo. She said I'd be upset if I saw, so she didn't tell me for my own good. Thinking about it now, I suddenly felt disgusted. I stopped resisting and let her open the box. The moment the box was opened, Clara's face went completely blank. Inside was a plane ticket to Singapore. My roommates had heard me say I'd never been on a plane and were worried I wouldn't book the ticket correctly, so they secretly bought it for me. Besides the ticket, there were some small trinkets in the box. They were photos of me with them, made into acrylic keychains. Clara's hands were almost trembling as she picked up the ticket. Her eyes instantly turned red. I imagine she also remembered how I had turned down my professor's invitation to study abroad for her sake. "Mark, why are you going to Singapore?" "No. You're going to clear your head, right? Because I made you unhappy. You want to get away for a bit, right?" Originally, I hadn't planned on telling Clara about studying abroad. But now that she had seen it, there was no point in hiding it anymore. A relationship that had lasted so many years deserved a proper end. I pulled the ticket from Clara's hand. My voice was calm. "I'm not going for fun. I'm going to study." "Clara, to be honest, I'd forgotten it was your birthday today. It's true, I made a pair of rings, and at first, I did intend to give them to you as a birthday present. But now, it's also true that I don't want to give them to you anymore. Clara, this time when I say we're breaking up, I'm not playing games with you, and I'm not trying to get you to console me. I'm serious." Clara's words came out in a rush. "Is it because of Leo? If it's because of Leo, I can keep my distance from him. If you don't like him, I'll reduce my contact with him from now on. Mark, I can't just abandon him." "Yeah, I know. Guilt is a powerful thing. That's why I understand, and that's why I let go, and that's why I don't love you anymore." I smiled. "Don't bother." Clara's lips trembled, and she was about to say more, but my roommate cut her off. "Clara, where were you before? You knew exactly why Mark was angry, didn't you? Now that it's too late, you're trying to act all devoted. Don't you feel ridiculous? You say he's your brother. But let me ask you, what kind of brother smashes a picture of his sister and her boyfriend? What kind of brother posts vague, flirty pictures with his sister on social media with no sense of boundaries? You were playing dumb, using the sister label to have it both ways. Honestly, someone with no boundaries like you is even more disgusting than someone who physically cheats. So please stop bothering our Mark. You have your little brother. That's all you need. Clara looked at me, repeating softly, Mark, it's not like that. I shook my head. It doesn't matter anymore. With that, I grabbed my bag and turned to leave. Clara chased after me. Just as she grabbed my arm, her phone rang. It was Leo. On the phone, Leo's voice was full of self-pity. Clara, I accidentally sprained my ankle during freshman orientation just now. It's all swollen. Can you come back to campus and check on me? It hurts so much. Clara didn't coddle Leo like she used to. She glanced at me, then spoke into the phone. Have a classmate take you to the infirmary first. I'm with Mark. I'll come see you tomorrow. As she said this, Clara was about to hang up. But the next second, the person on the other end started playing the victim. I know Mark is more important, but it really hurts. If Sarah hadn't run off, I wouldn't be calling you. I wouldn't be bothering you. I know I'm being selfish, but I really have no one else to rely on. Clara looked conflicted. But her hand on my arm never let go. It was obvious, though, that she was hesitating again. She couldn't let go of Leo. I gave a magnanimous smile and made the decision for her. I pushed her hand away and got into a taxi. The moment the car door closed, Clara was still frozen in place. As the car started to move, she began to run after it, chasing and shouting, Mark! I'll go back and check on him, and then I'll come find you. I'll go make things clear. Wait for me. You have to wait for me. In the car, I whispered, No, Clara. This time, I'm not waiting for you. I didn't go back to the dorm. I went straight to a hotel near the airport. I had one last late-night chat with my friends. Even though we'd only known each other for a short year, in that year, they had always looked out for me. I was the youngest in the dorm, and the shyest. After our first late-night talk, they had affectionately started calling me the baby of the group. Every time Clara and I fought, they would have my back. By the end of our talk, my eyes were red. I, who never drank, opened a can of beer. I raised my can. Thank you, guys. My friends' eyes were red too, and they pulled me into a group hug. You little punk, don't forget about us when you're abroad. Yeah, for real. And if you find a beautiful girl over there, don't forget your bros. You have to introduce me to her prettiest friend. I can handle it. That one line made everyone burst out laughing through their tears. The next day, they saw me off at the airport. To my surprise, Leo was there. He was still wearing his camouflage uniform from freshman orientation. His eyes were red. He looked absolutely furious. The moment he saw me, he lunged at me, trying to throw a punch. But I caught his wrist. Leo glared at me, his eyes burning. Mark, since you chose to go abroad, why didn't you just leave from your hometown? Why did you have to come back to Chicago? You're leaving, but you still had to show your face in front of Clara. How can you be so shameless? I looked at Leo with a cold smile. What's wrong? I already broke up with your precious Clara. Why are you still acting like this? Didn't she promote you? During the time after I broke up with Clara, I had received an anonymous text. I didn't have to guess to know it was from Leo. He said that without me as a stumbling block, he and Clara would have been together long ago. His supreme confidence made him look like a total joke right now. My words enraged Leo. He lunged at me again, trying to hit me. But I grabbed his hands, twisted his arm, and gave him a hard slap across the face. Leo clutched his cheek, looking at me in disbelief. "Mark, you dare hit me? Zach is my son. Clara promised Sarah she would take care of us. If Clara finds out you laid a hand on me, she'll never let you get away with it." It would have been better if Leo hadn't brought that up. The moment he did, I thought of all the times I was guilt-tripped and all the crap I had to put up with because of him. I raised my hand. Another hard slap. "So what? You have a son to raise, that's your business, not mine. Stop using your kid to guilt-trip me." Leo was about to say something else, but I grabbed him by the collar, leaned in close to his ear, and sneered. "Leo, honestly, I'm quite curious. Why did Sarah really dump the kid on you and leave? And you, with nothing to your name, how did you manage to survive all this time?" Leo's body went rigid. He stared at me with wide eyes, but then, as if he thought of something, a smile cracked across his face. "So what if you're curious? I didn't break any laws. The police can't do anything to me. My story is the official story." I smirked, my eyes fixed on the woman standing behind Leo. Clara's face was dark, and her voice was terrifyingly low. "What do you mean?" The smile on Leo's face froze. He turned around stiffly. The moment he saw Clara, Leo nearly lost his footing. He reverted to his usual innocent, little bunny persona. He reached for Clara's arm, his eyes red. "Clara, let me explain." This time, Clara showed him no mercy. She raised her hand and violently shoved him away. Leo fell to the ground. The airport floor was slick and polished. Leo tumbled and crashed onto the floor. The crisp sound of bone hitting the ground was painful just to hear. "This whole year, you've been lying to me. You've been playing me, haven't you? Sarah never left. You two cooked up this scheme together, using the baby to cheat me out of my money, didn't you? Leo, do you have any idea that because of you I almost lost Mark?" Sam, who had been enjoying the show from the sidelines, suddenly chimed in. "Hey, just a heads up, it's not almost. You've already lost him." Clara snapped back to reality and spun around, but all she saw was my back as I went through the ticket check. Clara lunged toward me, but just as she was about to touch me, I finished checking in and walked toward the boarding gate. Behind me, Clara screamed my name, her voice high and heartbroken. "Mark! Mark! Wait for me! I'll come to Singapore to find you next year." Life in Singapore was fulfilling. I got a part-time job with the other exchange students. We rented an apartment together. Occasionally, I'd video call my parents and my friends from UCA. The rest of my time was almost entirely dedicated to my studies. Oh, right. Not long after I arrived in Singapore, the ring I had listed on the second-hand site was sold. On the phone, Sam told me that Clara had also applied for the exchange program. But because she didn't pass the university's English proficiency exam, her application was rejected by the department. I was a little surprised. In high school, Clara was the one who helped me improve my English grades. Her English should have been better than mine. How could she not even pass the exam? Sam couldn't help but laugh as he explained. "Do you know why she failed the English exam? It was because of Leo. He found out she was taking the exam, so she could come to Singapore to find you. So he secretly took the battery out of her headphones. Clara only realized her headphones were dead during the exam. She had to guess on the entire listening section, and her confidence was shot after that. Basically, she bombed the test. By the way, Clara had a huge fight with Leo at school that day. She even slapped him. After they went their separate ways, Leo started spreading rumors all over campus that Clara was ungrateful. He was saying his ex-girlfriend ran off, how hard it is for him to raise a child alone, and how Clara had promised to take care of him, but was now repaying his kindness with cruelty. Anyway, now the two of them are like enemies at school. Actually, that's not right. Clara treats Leo like an enemy. She starts running the other way the second she sees him. Listening to these ridiculous stories, I felt a little dazed. Who would have thought that I used to be a part of all that drama? After I hung up, I received a call from an unknown number. The person on the other end said my friend had fainted at the airport due to low blood sugar and asked me to come pick her up. By the time I got to the airport, Clara had already been taken to the staff lounge by employees. Her fear of flying had left her looking deathly pale. The moment she saw me, she stumbled towards me. The corners of her eyes were so red it looked like they could bleed. Her voice trembled. "Mark, I missed you so much." I looked at her calmly, like I was looking at a regular friend. I didn't say a word, but Clara started to cry. "Mark, don't look at me like that." As she spoke, she pulled a ring out from under her collar. "Mark, look. It's the ring you made. I saw it on the site, and I bought it." So the buyer was her. Honestly, if she hadn't said anything, I would have barely recognized the ring. It's kind of funny to think about, that I used to spend so much time on such meaningless things. Seeing that I still had no reaction, Clara panicked and turned to grab a bouquet of flowers from the table. Pink, hand-folded roses. "Mark, do you remember our graduation party? Didn't we promise to invite our classmates to our wedding? You agreed back then, so Mark, can you please give me another chance? This time, I've really, truly cut ties with Leo. My family has stopped supporting him too. I have nothing to do with him anymore." Clara said a lot. I just watched her, my expression blank. I found it strange. This was the person I was once madly in love with, yet looking at her now, I felt nothing. The coat she was wearing was still the style I used to love, but my heart no longer skipped a beat like it used to. I interrupted Clara. "If you only came here today to get back together with me, then you can go back." With that, I turned to leave. Clara grabbed me. Tears streamed down her face silently. "Why, Mark? We have so many years of history. Why can't you just give me one more chance? I didn't even do anything that—" "Terrible! Is it really all just because of one train ticket?" I suddenly laughed. Even now, she still thought it was just about a train ticket. "Anna, you know what? I heard everything you said to Leo in the car. You said I annoyed you. You said that even without Leo, you still wanted to travel alone. The truth is, you knew why I was angry from the very beginning, didn't you? But you chose to ignore it, to pass off the blurry line between you and Leo as a pure sibling relationship, and then blame me for being unreasonable and irrational. Well, I'm being reasonable now. I've let go. I won't be irrational anymore. So, what are you doing?" As I spoke, the tip of my nose started to sting. Not out of love, but because I felt so worthless. "Clara, I actually kind of understand you now." Clara looked up at me, a flicker of hope in her eyes, but my next words shattered that hope completely. "It's a real headache when someone you're tired of keeps clinging to you." Thump! The flowers in Clara's hand fell to the floor. The carefully folded petals scattered everywhere. An airport employee walked over, his expression stern, and demanded that Clara pick up the trash immediately. Otherwise, they would have to fine her according to local laws. When Clara heard the word trash, she lost all her strength. She crumpled to the ground, sobbing uncontrollably, and I turned and walked away without a single look back. Clara didn't leave. She often wandered around near the university. I don't know where she got my current address. She started waiting for me downstairs from my apartment, but I never once stopped for her. Until one night, when I was coming home after class, a drunk woman suddenly rushed out of an alley and grabbed me. I was terrified. I grabbed a stray cane I found in the alley to defend myself and immediately called the police. When the police arrived, I realized the person was Clara. After that day, Clara was deported back to her country. Because of her aggressive behavior, she was banned from entering Singapore. From then on, the name Clara disappeared from my life. My friends, one by one, started moving into different fields. In the end, there was no one left to even mention her name to me. It was like intersecting lines. We once strived together toward the same goal, but after finally meeting at the point of intersection, all that awaited us were two rays that could never cross again. But that was fine too. Walk your own path. Take responsibility for your own life. My actions were my own choice, and I have no regrets. I don't regret our meeting, and I don't believe either of us owes the other anything.